Hey guys, I'm Sage Valentine. I'm just going to give you my opinion on The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode number 2. And here goes. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe it's me. But I find it a little bit suspicious that Enid decided to leave when everything broke out. That Enid left once everything was over. Yeah, I get and I understand the idea that Alexandria is no longer safe. However, to me, it just seems a little bit fishy. There's something off about this girl. I said it in my reviews for season 5 as well, but there was something weird about her. Also, I'm getting a weird feeling that those dudes that Morgan let live are going to come back with a vengeance, just as Gareth and Martin came back when Tyrese didn't kill Martin and Gareth wasn't killed by Rick because of Glenn in season 5. And when the governor basically came back because Rick didn't go there and do what he was going to do, which was put a bullet in the governor's head. But I feel like when these wolves come back, they're going to come back even more with full force. But at least one good thing about this episode, we did find out what happened and why we were hearing that horn. Some people online thought that it was Ron. For some reason, I don't know, maybe it was seeing Enid in the car. I thought that it might have been Enid. But I will say this. That horn, as we saw in episode 1, drew all of those walkers. Now, just as everybody in Alexandria that's left that wasn't made into mincemeat by those wolves are going to have to deal with this gigantic herd. And I'm assuming that they won't see this herd for a couple of episodes, but when they see this herd, it's going to be a hell of an episode. Tonight's episode, in my opinion, was awesome. I will say that. What else I want to talk about? Aaron and Rosita. I hope we get more scenes of those two working together because they were so badass. I'm getting weird vibes about Denise, though. Denise, that doctor chick played by Merritt Weaver. For those of you that don't know, Zoe from Nurse Jackie. There's something off about Denise. I don't know what it is. What else can I talk about in regards to this episode? Also, I'm so glad that Carol was able to go back to being her badass Carol self, because it seemed like she was getting a tad bit bored with playing housewife and acting like all she wanted to do was bake cookies and make casseroles and things like that. Like, I was glad that she was able to once again kick butt and take names, and that was an awesome idea that she had to disguise herself as a wolf. Speaking of Carol, though, I'm probably jumping around and I apologize, but all this is like popping out of my head. What I will say is this: it's pretty crazy how all that craziness happened within 1 hour. So Carol basically set that timer and then looked up, and the chick she was bugging about smoking ends up getting hacked up by this dude with a machete. Like, those wolves came and took no prisoner and basically took down and killed a hell of a lot of people from Alexandria and crippled them. I know that Deanna is going through something as far as she's still grieving over her husband, but there's something also up about Deanna. I'm not saying that there's like anything wrong, like she's, suspect, but I will say this, that Deanna is watching everything go down and she's taking notes, and I'm wondering what she's going to think after this. Like, is she going to do what Herschel kind of did in season 2 and kind of blame Rick and the crew, what the governor tried to do in season 3, and blame Rick and the crew, like, because they came here, because they attacked here. Well, they didn't attack Alexandria, but I think you guys know where I'm going with that it's their fault. And by it being like their fault, meaning like because Rick and the crew came to Herschel's farm and came to Woodbury, and now Alexandria, it seems like trouble is following them. That's the way that they are seeing it, or probably the way Deanna will see it, because the governor was kind of pissed off after Rick and the crew came, and he felt like they destroyed his oasis, despite the fact that eventually something crazy was going to happen with that. Eventually something crazy was going to happen with Herschel's farm, and eventually those wolves were on their way back to attack Alexandria. It was just a matter of time. And by them finding Aaron's book bag with his photos in it, that just gave them the visual they needed, what they really needed to look for, because he took pictures of the outside walls and everything, and that's how they found it. Plus, they found a way in through the open gate, because obviously the gate was left open. So, before I end this review, another thing I wanted to talk about was Eugene. Like, Eugene, honestly, in my opinion, is starting to redeem himself. Well, he actually started to redeem himself last season when he saved Tara. But as far as this season goes, like, Eugene is trying. I'll give him that. And when he had to give Denise that pep talk that she needed to take care of the blonde lady who looked like she was stabbed in her abdomen, you know it's pretty bad when someone like Eugene has to give you a pep talk. You must look really, really crazy. Also, I wanted to talk a little bit more about Enid. Now, we were able to see the background on Enid and how basically she watched her family die. There was nothing she could do with that. She had to live on her own and eat that poor turtle. I know she was hungry, but I wasn't too keen on the group eating those dogs last season, so eating the turtle this season to me was just like, poor turtle, poor little thing. And then it's like she was writing JSS, which I learned means just survive somehow. But it, like I said in the beginning of this review, it's pretty telling how as soon as stuff broke out, she was ready to bounce. Where this girl is going to go, I don't know. That's why I'm kind of iffy about her character. And before I forget, I wanted to quickly talk about Ron. Now, Ron's already mad at Rick because Rick killed his father. Despite the circumstances around it, he's still mad at him. He's mad at his mother because he feels like this is her fault for, I guess, flirting with Rick. And now he is angry at Carl because he sees some connection between Carl and Enid. And, well, Ron is nothing but trouble at this point, and I feel like Ron will probably leave the walls and get lost or something. And then the next thing that you know, the group will have to go out and look for him. Hopefully he has nothing to do with what happens to Daryl as far as that little flash we saw in the trailer. But all I know is that that kid is trouble, and if they don't watch him, he's going to cause a lot of problems. And yes, I already know what happens to Jesse in the comic book, so you guys don't have to tell me that one. Alright everyone, so that's it. I will be posting this review ASAP. I also have other reviews that I have to catch up on. 2 Sleepy Hollows, Walking Dead Season 6 Episode 1, and a Scream Queens review, and a Survivor review, and another Survivor review, so I have a busy week ahead, and another Walking Dead review, obviously. But if you guys want to continue the conversation with me, definitely leave me some comments. Let me know what you thought about the episode this season so far, and what are your predictions? Who do you think is going to die? Who do you think is going to survive? Let's keep this going, and hit me up on Twitter. I'm at Sage Valentine. I'm always live tweeting my favorite shows, so maybe you could join in the conversation. Also hit me up on Google+. I'm also at Sage Valentine. And hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to my brand of crazy and rate this video. And I guess that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. Bye, guys. Bye.